My name is Anna, and I'm here with Team 9072, the TigerBots, here at the Chesapeake Alexandria event. We're really excited to talk about the robot and talk about its ground intake and how it hands off up to the elevator, finally that finalized scoring mechanism. This robot has already won at the Pasadena event this year, and we're hoping to see what they can do here at Alexandria. All right, so Megan, you want to start us off with your wonderful ground intake?
Yeah. So through game analysis, we decided that our most highest priority would be those spike autos, and to get those spike autos, we knew we wanted a ground intake. A lot of our robot is designed around this idea that we understand that the human player station will be very clogged, so we wanted to have the most efficient ground intake to pass through the cup system. So we went with a very similar design to Team Citrus Circuits from last year. We had the pleasure of building one of their 2024 robots for our off-season event this year, and found that their ground intake was something that we could take a lot from and learn from. It's very similar build, except that of course it's widened for the new game piece. We decided to go with star wheels on the top and dead axles on the bottom. We found that the star wheels, as most teams have found, have a great advantage in terms of they have an active compliance radius and an active squish radius, so that they can grab much farther than they can compress, which allows us to nicely intake the coral and pitch it 30 degrees inwards into our actual pass-through. Want to demo that? Yeah. So,
You want to zoom out of it?
for our enabling sequence, we always start up and then goes in. Straight from our pass-through into our wide acquisition pass-through, effector intake into our pass-through. From there, we have two sets of beam brakes that allow us to know when we're acquisitioning the piece of coral. The coral comes through and then straight into our passive cup. Originally, our cup, which is in front, was powered. We were always pushing against it, but we found that switching to a passive model just let us, one, shed weight, and two, have one less thing to actuate.
All right, thank you so much. All right, next, I think we're moving to Caleb, who's going to tell us a bit about our elevator.
So with the elevator, along with going for faster scoring, we have a two-stage elevator with a carriage and we created hard stops at the second stage so that we can have very quick cycles, so we can have a hard stop at that L4. And so with that, we have the spool down here. Those were custom made in-house with polycarb tube and half-inch metal end caps, and that's gear ratio to a 2.5 to 1. And with that, it's Dyneema driven to these custom pulley holders that also do hard stops as well. And at the very top, just to make our cycles a little bit faster, we have a weightless elevator with two constant force springs on both sides. So we custom made these 3D printed hubs. That way it goes all the way down here. And we have a second set up here that also is a hard stop and a pulley. And we have this cross bracing to keep it structural. And then, I don't know if you guys want to do the different stages, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah.
What made y'all decide to go with the Dyneema core driving?
So we did that because for us it was the easiest to do a continuously driven elevator, and for continuous that means that we got to do each one individually, so we get to send our carriage up first. And with Dyneema, it's strong and we were able to spool it up a lot easier, so it was an easier pivot to a continuous elevator.
Nice, thank you so much. And finally, we're going to go to Tahani, who's going to talk about their end effector.
So our end effector is a passive slam down manipulator. Our original idea with this end effector was to do a 360 flip around, which a lot of people saw at Pasadena, but after running that event, we decided that a better path forward would be to lengthen it, because eventually we want to be able to make this active and be able to put algae in the barge. This manip right now is running at a 24 to 1 gear ratio off of this chain. It picks up the coral from the cup, which is what we call it, and we tested a lot with different widths of the manip to make this passive, because we didn't want to initially go to an active manipulator, but now because we want to go to an active one, we decided to lengthen it and be able to iterate on it later in the season.
Nice. And do you plan to make these changes before the district championship?
Yeah, we do.
This has been your episode of Behind the Bumpers with Team 9072. From all of us at FUN, we wish you the best of luck for both this competition and the rest of the season. Thank you again for joining me.
Thank you.